All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, where we will be talking about Devin the Dream Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, and Shakur Stevenson, and something that Devin Haney said that may lead to these fights not taking place. And you know, I'm definitely somebody that is going to say what's good for the goose is what's good for the gander. I certainly hope he does not duck out of this Lomachenko fight and the Shakur Stevenson fight, because as he says, man, I'm big. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, the lightweight division, one of the most talent-rich divisions in all of boxing, where you have the likes of Devin Haney, who's the undisputed champion, Vasily Lomachenko, who is a future Hall of Famer and everybody multi-divisional champion. You have Gervonta Tank Davis, who's a multi-divisional fighter and champion, big-time star in the sport of boxing. And then Shakur Stevenson, who very well may be the most talented or the most skilled and best fighter of the bunch. We're looking forward to a fight that should be taking place in May, but the closer we get to it, the less sure it seems to be taking place. And that is the fight between Devin the Dream Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, because Devin Haney keeps saying things and information keeps coming out that makes it seem as if he may not want that fight for one reason or the other. But in this particular instance, he says, man, I'm big. Again, alluding to his size and maybe the inability to make weight. However, no excuses running around here for this, because of everything that has been said in the lightweight division by Devin Haney to date. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much. And thank you specifically to everybody that hits that like button, and also people like Matty Yole and Barbara D and Mr. Pragmatic, my guys, Key to the Game Boxing, John Boy, that support in the super thanks of videos like this, which is a way to support your YouTube channels that put out the content that you like. Just reminded me, I got to go to Casual Geographics and give him a super thanks as much as I watch his videos. Anyway, shameless plug for a great channel about animals. Anyway, let's get into this. All right, man. So I'm going to say this ahead of time, man. I'm putting on the pressure, man. Devin Haney looked like he's trying to slide out this fight with Vasily Lomachenko. Not sure whether he's actually trying to slide out of that bout or whether or not he's just trying to position himself to get more money for the bout. But whatever the case is, things are looking kind of shaky. This fight is supposed to take place in May, and we are walking up to maybe about 3 more weeks before it looks like it's going to, that fight may have to get pushed back. But just recently on Twitter, shout out to Ray Jackson, a very good channel on Twitter. Twitter, good, very good Twitter page. Very funny guy, does some parodies type of tweets every now and then, but always sharing boxing news and talking about boxing news on Twitter. Definitely check him out, subscribe to him, or follow him on Twitter if you do that. He put out a post about Devin Haney and how Devin Haney was standing next to a sparring partner that was like a 140-pounder, and how Devin actually looked bigger than the 140-pound sparring partner. And so Ray Jackson says, man, it looks like you need to move up in weight, too big for the lightweight division. And then Devin Haney tweeted right behind that, or retweeted that and said, yeah, hey, man, I'm big. Now, that means that, as he has been saying before and other people said before, it looks like Devin we all know he's big for 135 pounds, but that his time in that weight division is running short, right? But that is also causing at least me to speculate that there may be a problem with that fight with Vasily Lomachenko. As you've heard that Devin Haney has said that Vasily Lomachenko needs to make more, at least this is coming from Mike Coppinger, right? So, take it with a grain of salt. Came from Mike Coppinger. You don't know whether or not Mike Coppinger is being serious or whether Mike Coppinger is trying to punish somebody by putting some news out. Who knows? But whatever the case is, Mike Coppinger says that that the holdup in the fight is that Devin Haney wants concessions, and meaning he wants more money from Vasily Lomachenko to make that bout. And so that bout, as of right now, is not available and is not done. Also, when talking about Shakur Stevenson and whether or not Devin Haney can fight Shakur Stevenson, his father, Bill Haney, says, no, we can't make that fight till 140 or 147. So what's the big deal with this, right? The big deal is that Devin Haney would leave. It would have a very funny quote unquote legacy at 135 pounds, where he would have become the undisputed champion at 135, but never have really fought the top fighters at 135 pounds. If he does not fight Vasily Lomachenko, he does not fight Shakur Stevenson, he does not fight Gervonta Davis, that means he would have been a undisputed champion at 135 pounds, but never fought a top fighter, one of the top fighters at 135 pounds. And you guys can say, well, how is that possible? Because he's the undisputed champion. Obviously he did. No, he did not. Because he fought George Kambosos. And George Kambosos is not one of the top lightweights. I don't care what they put over there on BoxRec analytics. I do not care how ESPN ranks them. Anybody that with two eyes that are looking at the sport of boxing knows that he is firmly behind fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Vasily Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis. I would also add to that list Frank Martin as well. And despite his test for hydrochlorothiazide, I would also say I will throw Michelle Rivera up in there over him as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hector Garcia moved up to 135 pounds that he would not beat George Kambosos as well. The best win that Devin Haney has, in my opinion, that he has at 135 pounds is Jorge Linares. And Jorge Linares was not a champion, is pretty much fresh off a knockout loss to Vasily Lomachenko. At that point in time, was not one of the top lightweights. So if Devin moves up to 140 pounds without fighting Lomachenko for whatever reason, and I don't care if you people say, well, Devin's the undisputed champion, that means Vasily Lomachenko has to do whatever it is that he says. Even though that's not true, it doesn't make any difference to me, similar to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford can say that's his legacy and his legacy is set, so he doesn't have to fight Errol Spence Jr. because he's accomplished everything. Doesn't matter to me. Your legacy at 147 pounds is that you have not beat a top guy at 147 pounds, because every one of the top guys in that division had already lost to Errol Spence Jr., other than Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis, who are just coming up the rankings. So my hope most certainly is that all of this talk, which I do believe is the case, will end soon against Vasily Lomachenko, as far as him fighting Vasily Lomachenko, that he fights Vasily Lomachenko. I'm rooting for Devin to beat Vasily Lomachenko. However, I will tell you that I'm not that is not an easy fight. And that is good news that is not an easy fight, because Vasily Lomachenko is not an easy fight for anybody. But if he winds up beating him, like Shakur Stevenson says that he'll beat him, like Vasily Lomachenko's over the hill and all of that, didn't look as good in his last fight. Whatever the case is, if he beats Vasily Lomachenko, in my opinion, that is a very, very solid win, because that is a very risky fight. And then if he moves up, so be it. But he can't move up because he's too heavy to fight Shakur Stevenson, but be able to stay at 135 if Gervonta had fought him. So all of that Gervonta duck stuff gets to go out the window. Also, there's the whole conversation about calling everybody a duck and taking absolutely no explanation. There's no acceptable explanation for not fighting Devin for everybody else in the division. So not going to be so quick to give Devin excuses for not fighting anybody else in the division, because that's the standard that he had for other people. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.